So after much struggling with this piece, I finally decided on this as a composition. It will look like that or so once it is on my screen. There you go. It'll look like that on my painting, and I think that's a pretty good composition. I'm gonna get started with the painting now. Really excited to do all these chromes and colors. This painting took me 4 hours, and the assignment was to do it in 2. So I'm not sure if that makes me an overachiever or an underachiever. I guess it's all a matter of your perspective, which is something that I'm really learning as I'm becoming an artist. Perspective in the way you look and perspective in how you think of things and view the world. I've sped the footage up to 5 times speed and removed any parts of the video where nothing was happening on the screen. I wanted to preserve the painting process entirely for you, and I'm better this time about leaning into the screen so you can actually see pretty much the whole video without my shoulder, head, or hair getting in the way. I slow it down in real time again at the end so you can watch the final details go in. Now, this painting was part of the Milan Art Mastery program coursework section, part 1, section 4, I think they call it. And the class was all about composition and still lives. And we started with a lesson in composition where we created a still life in charcoal, and that was a lot of fun. I posted that video last week, and the link is in the description. The second part of the assignment was creating 3 Alla Prima still lives, starting with what the Milan program considers to be a limited palette of warm and cool primary colors plus black and white. I say considers to be because that gives you 8 colors to work with and to mix into basically any color of the rainbow. So it wasn't exactly a limited palette. It just wasn't squirting out the 20 to 30 different colors I see their artists have on their palettes in most of their videos. But I digress. The first Alla Prima painting I did that week was the ring bear, which I posted a couple of months ago on my channel. It's adorable, I love it, and you should definitely watch that video. For the second painting, Sunflowers, we were allowed to add some convenience colors, so I added a warm and cool version of browns and greens. I released that video last week, and the link is also in the description, as is my whole Milan Art Mastery experience set of videos. And for this third still life, I wanted to stretch myself by painting reflective surfaces of metal and glass. And we got to add 2 more colors, so I added teal and violet to this mix, which are part of that painted metal surface and would make it much easier to render. With this last piece from part 1.4 of the program, I'm finally ready to add some feedback about this lesson. If you've watched any of my videos so far, you'll know I really loved the process of Alla Prima oil painting. Alla Prima means all at once, and it's a painting designed to be finished in one sitting, which is what I think I need to do. The longer a half-done painting sits on my easel or pondering hook, the more I get in my head about how it looks and how I'm going to improve on it, which is definitely not a good thing for my art practice. I spend way too much time in my head as it is, and painting in one sitting really limits the amount of time that I can spend just worrying about all the things. I've realized that this may be because I paint until I get stuck or I don't know what to do, so then I set it aside for another day. And it dawned on me that this is the artistic version of falling off a horse and not getting back up. The longer I wait to get back to the painting, the harder it is to get back to. I'm going to try and remember this when I'm painting moving forward, and stop after a really good high rather than when I get stuck or challenged. I also want to work on multiple paintings in different stages so that I can really go wherever my spirit moves me, but there'll always be something to work on, and if I remember to leave after a good point, I might be eager to get back to working on it. So I'll let you know how that new philosophy treats me. I think as far as the Milan art training goes, it was a very light week this week on the idea of composition. Even in the manual, the discussion of composition was just half a page long, and it only covered the rule of thirds. Ellie Milan also mentioned in the videos that you don't want any tangent lines where items meet each other, that overlap is better, and that was it for composition instruction. Meanwhile, hours upon hours of content about composition is available on YouTube, and entire books exist on the topic. Mastering Composition by Ian Robbins is a particularly good one that I've enjoyed. This lesson reinforces an early feeling I have about the Milan program, that it's actually very light on information. I looked ahead and composition isn't covered as a topic again, and that's unfortunate. And with these 3 oil paintings in the series, where you were supposed to add new colors and mix colors to get the results you want, mixing colors is pretty much not mentioned at all in the course. Maybe it will be later. But there has been minimal color theory, other than a discussion of using both warm and cool colors, and a caution against mixing them, which I do all the time to get a nice neutral mid-ground version of a color. Now, because of the assignments and the practice, I am definitely learning a lot by doing. I'm noticing problems, and I'm having to work them out and solve them on my own. There's coaching, but you're only supposed to attend 1 coaching session a week. So if you're stuck, it might be a while before you can get unstuck. Somehow, I'm still feeling like I'm self-taught, even with this expensive class providing me with some focused direction. And really, that is exactly what a self-taught artist does. You learn by finding materials like books and videos and courses to learn from, and of course, by doing. Now, that being said, I really hate the expression self-taught. It's one of my pet peeves. I don't think it's possible for anyone to teach themselves. We're all learning from the lessons others have laid before us, whether it's from a formal education or, in my case, self-directed study. To call myself a self-taught artist would be disrespectful to the dozens of art instructors I've learned from in life, YouTube, and on Skillshare long before I'd ever heard of the Milan program. And while I'm enjoying the Milan program for the focus of topics to learn about, I'm really wishing the education part of this program were a little deeper. I wonder if I were actually in art school, if I'd get more formal instruction. I think even then it likely depends on the instructor for the class. I really like studying and learning and reading. I want to know the education and the history and the science and the technology behind everything. So I'm not sure I'd ever be fully satisfied with an art program because I always want to know more. I'm thankful there are some great art books out there that help satisfy that hunger. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a video reviewing some of the ones that I've read. Would I have tried Alla Prima oil painting without the Milan program? Eventually, but probably not yet. And that realization makes me once again grateful that I've spent the money on the program, even after setting it down for a year. Even after getting in a bit of a financial bind where having that money back would have gone a long way for me. So my phone, which I used to film, ran out of batteries, which means I had to stop. But I noticed that it ran out of batteries when I stepped back and was taking a look because the glass was just all wrong. And as I tried to paint it, I realized that everything is wrong about it. The perspective is wrong. It's just not good. So I wiped out the whole glass. Like for instance, the base of the glass went down to here, and the base of the glass actually only comes down to here. So the whole glass was just way too big. So I wiped out everything except for what I had started with the metal strainer on top so that I could reduce the size of the glass. I'm gonna have to go back in to this cup and work a little bit. The good news is, even though this is Alla Prima, it's supposed to be done in one sitting, because my camera died and I needed to wait. I actually waited a whole day. So this is pretty dry to the touch right now. So I should be able to go in and make these corrections, which technically makes it not officially Alla Prima, which is the assignment, but it's still a, basically a one sitting still life. So. Doing all of the editing on these videos has reminded me how much joy I experienced when I was creating them. So for me, the program is still worth the money. Subscribe to my channel and you'll get access to each week's progress and review videos as they come out, and they will be coming out at a faster rate than they have previously, I promise. Next week, we'll get to see how I liked using the next technique they taught in the program, called fat over lean. And with that, I'm going to add some music for the rest of the video. Be sure to stay to the end to see how it turned out. I really love this one. And if you'd like to purchase any of the paintings you see on my channel, be sure to let me know in the comments or reach out to me at the email address in my profile, and I will be sure to get back to you. Heck, even if you want to just say hi and connect, feel free. I love meeting other artists, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the program or art or me or life or anything, or just say hi. It's always nice to connect. Oh, and this fun music track I found in the YouTube audio library is called Running Errands by Track Tribe, and I thought its kind of upbeat jazzy tempo really suited these bar supplies. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.